I'm Andy Merritt. I teach AP US Government, AP Comparative Government, all day, and it's my 34th year.
He brightens my day like he brightens his students' days.
100% a mentor in my life.
He's just like a really, really good teacher. Like, he knows how to connect with his students.
That's Andy Merritt. That's who he is.
When I got out of high school, I went to college for a year, and I wanted to be a lawyer, and then, like a lot of kids, and then I realized I needed to grow up. So I joined the military, and when I was in the military, I got to coach a baseball team, 13 to 15-year-old kids, boys, and we played when I was in Germany for the Bavarian champion, or for the German championships. We didn't end up winning, but I had a great time coaching, and I thought, this is pretty cool. And so then when I got out of the military, I went back to college and said, yeah, I want to be a teacher.
I think a lot of mentors and teachers have kind of instilled in each other different values. So I think you could probably pick 10 different teachers and you would have 10 different values that they instill. There are very few teachers that could probably encapsulate all 10, and I think he does.
His perspective on the profession of teaching is insightful. It's just impactful, and he sees the bigger picture. It's not just about content. It's not just about the material that you're putting in front of students. It's more about the relationships and giving those other skills, the intangible skills, and mostly it's just about caring and listening and being there for people. So
I think he cares about the students, and I think he's extremely personal. I think he knows how to approach students based on their needs, and he's always been that. He's always been there for me. And what surprises me most is he remembers names and he remembers the people he meets. He'll sometimes go around the school and he'll see people, and he's always cheerful, and he always, says hi to them, and that's, to me, it's extremely, extremely important.
The last year, he has started walking the hallways in the morning.
So the morning walk just started to fill, one of my daughters got me one of these Apple Watches, so it measures time and steps. So I try to do 45 minutes every day, whether it be in school or outside of school. But with weather like we've had lately, it just makes it really great because I can zip around the hallways or stairs, and it's a workout.
And I'm used to seeing him and running into him on the second floor hallway with the upperclassmen, but I have heard his voice on the ground floor. He's talking to 9th graders. He's talking to everybody.
Morning, how's everybody? Good. Sign up here for breakfast. Oh, good. Yeah. Hope it doesn't get torn down. That's just for you. Yeah. That's just evolved, and it gives me a chance to talk to kids. Like I'll start on the D200 or wherever I want to start, and I get to see kids and meet new kids and talk to kids that I have never met before. Because I say good morning to everybody. I think it's critical to talk to everybody. We get so focused on I need to get here or get there that it's important that they be recognized as a human being. That saying, I see you, I think is important for every kid. They need to be seen here.
He treats us as people, as humans, not just another number, as another student in his class. So
he's walking, to get his steps in, to take care of himself, but also he's talking to people and making connections and relationships, and he is making a difference, like at 8 a.m. Who does that? I don't know, but that is an impression of him that I'm just like, yep, that's Andy Merritt. that's who he is.
And if it's just a simple good morning, at least somebody talked to me today. I learned that from my mom. There's been so many school shootings. I mean, and so about 2 years ago, there was a school shooting, and this is kind of goes into my Stoic philosophy. There's a saying in Stoic philosophy, is memento mori, which means you could die this minute, this second. Like nothing's guaranteed. And I remember I came in the day after a school shooting, and I said to my class, you need to tell somebody you love them right now. Get your phones out and tell them right now you love them. Because there's no guarantee you're going home tonight. I hated saying that, but that's a fact. And so that started it. So the next day I came in and I said, hey, what's another text? What's another text? What's another text? What's another text? All right. Hey, get your phones, get your phones, get your phones. Text somebody and thank them for being kind. That's our text. DT came up with that this morning. Thank somebody for being kind. So you all know somebody was kind to you, thank them for being kind. All right, all right, all right.
I really like his daily texts. To be honest, my junior year, didn't really pay much mind to it, but now I really understand the value in doing it. As I say, I do it every time, and I've always had people who, I've always had great responses, and people have always enjoyed it, so I'm gonna continue doing it.
Sometimes I get a little freaked out for like texting my friends really randomly, but honestly, I think it's like a really good idea, and I think it's like brought me closer with some of my friends, even though it's kind of embarrassing to do.
Trying to send positivity in the world, but it came from something really negative. And I think it's been a good thing that came from something bad.
He has a lot of focus on class interaction and class conversation, which to me is vital.
All right. Hey, what news do we have? News. We all get our text set? Yeah. What news? Any news? World news, good news, local news?
I think he really, really cares about like his students' lives and stuff. If you're like quiet and sitting in the back of the classroom, he makes an effort to go back there and talk to you.
It's all data.
I feel like this takes so much skill to be able to like.
You've got to know what you're doing, and it's all data-based. That's why I said a couple times in here, if anybody has interest in politics and you like data science, you like to do statistics,
Jeremy,
that's a career. And if you're good at it, you make a ton of money out of it. You make a ton. And you don't care who you're drawing maps for. You don't care who you're drawing, as long as they're writing you the check.
Anyone can use someone that can do something like that.
Yeah.
I think, learning is conversation, right? And having those conversations with other people and the discourse of ideas is paramount to the continuation of learning.
From a teaching standpoint, it's kind of Maslow type stuff, that if your social emotional needs are not being met, there's no learning that's going to take place. So we could be talking about executive orders from the president, but that does not even compare to the fact there was another school shooting and you guys are terrified. Because I see it in your faces, and I'm scared too. But as a teacher, you got to come in and you got to be that constant every single day for those kids. And it's okay to say, I'm scared, but I'm with you. And I will defend you, I'll take care of you, I'll do everything I can to protect you. Because your sole worry right then is, am I going to make it home tonight? And we've got to address that. And like I said, executive orders, that can wait. But if your social emotional needs are not being met at that moment, then as a teacher, you got to make that decision. Okay, we're going to talk about this right now. We're going to talk about hard things. And my job is to hopefully make you guys feel a little bit safer.
I think there have been a couple of times where he and I have had the same students, and I think some of the best compliments that I have heard about my teaching or who I am are almost comparisons. Oh, you remind me of Andy Merritt. You remind me of Mr. Merritt. That's one of the greatest, I just love that compliment. It's one of the greatest compliments I could ever get as a teacher.
It's been years of finally, of understanding that, again, I'm going to say it again, that I work for you. That my main focus in everything I do is how can I make you guys have a better experience? And whatever that takes, I'll do.
I just think he genuinely likes what he's doing. Like, he's happy to be here even though it's been 30 years, and he's just so kind and like wants to know everybody, wants to have fun all the time. And that's so much different than all the other teachers I have.
he never has this posture like, I've been teaching for 30 years. What do you have to tell me? What do you have to teach me? I feel like he just approaches everyone, whether it's student or faculty, staff, with, what can I learn from you?
I've learned a lot from him, and you know, in those early days of just being there for people and being an active listener, being present and being in that moment. You know, we all go through our days with so many things going on and so many stressors and of what we have to get accomplished from the to-do list, but he does such a great job of just being really present in the moment, and that's one of the biggest things that I've learned from him.
You have very few people in your life that kind of tell you to take care of you, like, and he does that. And you know, whether you are, what profession you're in, it doesn't matter. Like, just as a person, that's so helpful.
Maybe I asked the question, how would I want my daughters to be treated in this situation? What would I want for my kids in this situation? My daughter's afraid to go to school. How would I want my daughter to be treated? What would I want to teach her? How would I want them to act? Would I want them to say, oh, no, sorry, we got to learn about similes and metaphors today. I know you guys are scared, but it's similes and metaphors today. I'll give you a tangent story, and again, hopefully I won't get emotional. Our youngest daughter taught here she filled in as a TA here for a short period of time for a year in the German classroom, and there was a school shooting the day before. And like, everybody was in a tizzy, and I went to see Sarah. She was up in the German classroom, and I went to see her, and I said to her, sorry for being emotional, I said, you got to protect yourself. I apologize. And she looked at me, she said, Dad, these are my kids. They're my kids. I got to look out for them. That's how I think. You're my kids. You are. I will do anything I can to give you a great experience and to protect you every single day. And you know, to hear that from your daughter made me proud, but it made me scared, because I know what she would do. I think she gets that from my wife and I, so, because my wife's exactly the same way I am. So I think it's ingrained.
What he has taught people about just taking time and listening, I think that's going to go a long way. And I think also this department, he has made such an impact on the social studies department as a whole. Again, not necessarily because of content, but just because of who he is. I don't think you'll ever be able to say social studies department without somehow saying Andy Merritt. Yeah.
Every time that he walks in my room and I have another student with me, I say, this is the best teacher in State High. Do you know Mr. Merritt? I think he has just such a tremendous impact, again, far beyond the content, but just in being able to put it, really show what unconditional love looks like to kids and just caring. And I think that is the lesson that people will take from him. He cares for other people, and whatever that looks like, he's not afraid to show that. So, and he doesn't do it for the attention. He does it behind the scenes. He sets up all these different things that kids benefit from that they have no idea about. And then just all of a sudden there's something there for a kid who's in need.
He's real. He's just legit, real, honest. He is amazing. I don't think there's anything false about him. Yeah. And it comes through in his teaching, it comes through in who he is.